I'm Treasure. Welcome to Jesus Project. And yeah, it's a platform, yeah, where we talk about how our relationship with God has grown and how it affects or how it has affected different areas of our lives. Today we are going to be talking on a you get it, that's what that matters. Talking on a topic that is called surrendering plans. And I'm here with two of my friends. Oh, you know the first one calling my friends, but sorry, yes, so two of my friends, and they will introduce themselves.
Okay. Um, Hi, my name is Isabel, and what am I supposed to say again? That's it?
Anything.
Okay. Hi, my name is Isabel. I am a student of CIU. I'm studying pharmacy, and it's a privilege to be on the Jesus Project.
Okay. Hey. Okay, my name is Peace. Pikpeloluwa Ogu. Chinyere Esther, if you like to put that in.
Wow.
And I study digital media and marketing, and I steward the journey with Christ. Oh, repping. Yeah, I'm a
Repping.
Christ representative. So,
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, we're going to be discuss. Yes, I'm a serious young lady. We are going to be discussing on a topic, and it's called surrendering plans. So yeah, I'll go with the first question. I'll start with easy.
Okay.
What has "I'll cast my cares on God" meant for you in these past 5 years? I don't know why I specifically said 5. Holy Spirit, what are you trying to do?
You know what's funny? When I saw the question,
Mhm.
5 years, I was like, in 5 years, how would I put it? It's been 5 years since I decided to become serious with my work with God. So kind of like 5 years. So when I saw it, I was like, okay. And I put down a couple of things because I said, let me be serious. And I only literally just put it down today. So I'll just read it out. The past 5 years for me has been learning to trust God even when it doesn't make sense, and trust that He's good and that He will never let me down. So yeah, that's it in summary, especially the part that says, He's good regardless of whatever it is.
Okay, that's cool. You said something. You said learning to trust God even when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Can you give us, now we're going to the storytelling part. Like, Holy Spirit is casting, you get? But yeah, what has that meant for you? Learning to trust God even when it doesn't make sense. Can you tell us a scenario where you had to be in that position?
Okay. Okay, so before I came to Cyprus, I was somewhere else. Of course, still
In the
studying
world.
pharmacy. Yes, somewhere else in the world, still
You don't need
studying
to know.
pharmacy. And it was the longest 5 years of my life. In the sense, 5 years is a long time.
Yeah,
But it was just it wasn't working. Not because pharmacy wasn't it, but you know how when people are in relationships, they say it's not you, it's me. For me, it wasn't me, it was them. And it was, I wasn't sure what to do at the point. I'm trying to kind of give it some because it's a whole lot. Yes, storytelling, but it's a whole lot. And there were times I literally said, you know what, God, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to continue with pharmacy, or do you want me to do something else? Do you want me to go somewhere else? And I kid you not, every single time, He wasn't telling me exactly what to do. It was almost like, wait. You know when they say, is either God is telling you yes, no, or He's telling you to wait. For me, it was like, wait. Because I was not understanding exactly what was going on. And I remember there was a day I literally told Him, I said, am I a joke to you? Like, I really need to know, am I a joke to you? Because I don't understand why I'm going over. I wasn't making progress.
Yeah.
I was literally stuck somewhere in school. And I was like, what exactly are you doing? Of course, people around me were concerned, and it was like, what's going on? So, learning to trust Him even when it doesn't make sense is even in the midst of when I was making plans to come to Cyprus, I didn't want to come here. I wanted to stay where I was because I had friends, I had a church community, and everything was perfect aside school. And making the decision to come here, for me, I felt like in a way I was in, permit me to use the word limbo, because I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision or not. But I said, because you're working everything out for my good and you're working it for me to come here, so I'm going to just trust that you know what you're doing. And it took a while. Even when I got here, it took a while for me to, I was like, I still don't understand what you're doing. Still some things in my life that I'm like, I still don't understand what you're doing. I'm trying to make sense of it all. You know how people have, am I talking too much?
No, we have enough time.
Okay, you know how people have their lives figured out, like, this age, I'm going to do this. And some people, they even know, okay, this is what God is telling me to do this. My sister.
Grace.
My sisters. My brethren. I didn't get it all figured out. I'm always in so much, or when I see people that are like, oh, I know how, I'm like, wow. Me, God is just showing me bits and pieces. And he's like, just walk with me. Like, literally like Abraham, just walk with me. Just keep going every step of the way. Then when you now look back in retrospect, you're like, okay, now I understand why this had to happen, this had to happen. Like, looking back at the 5 years of my life, now I understand why I went through what I went through. And it makes perfect sense now, because it's made me who I am today. So yeah.
That's cool. Is it cool? It wasn't cool then.
It wasn't cool then,
now.
no.
Yeah, so Pipe. Her name is Pipe. If you call her that, she'll beat you outside.
Yes, trust me.
So I'll cast my cares on God. What has that meant for you this past 5 years?
Wow. Okay, so 5 years ago, I was not serious with God. 4 years ago, I was not serious with God.
I'm a witness.
3 years ago, I think I became more serious with God like 3 years ago. Not serious per se, but 3 years ago, I encountered God. So I'll cast my cares. And the funniest thing is, like when she was talking, I was thinking back on where was I 5 years ago? 5 years ago, I was a teacher, teaching my mom's school, teaching students. And yeah, I really enjoyed teaching then, but I knew I was going to leave at a point to further my education. So then I know God. I'm okay. This pastor daughters thing that you people, pastor kid kind of thing. So they expect you to like, oh, have this relationship with God. And from when I was small, funniest thing is I've always been that child that before I sleep, I just like these cute prayers with family. Yes, I always try to initiate it, but my family, they don't even ask, okay. They're like, you go and pray. My dad just said, don't worry, you can pray for the family. Not because of my daddy does not pray by himself or this thing, but he didn't want to, he was trying to make me independent, and he was trying to make me have a personal relationship with God right from when I was small. But growing up, I knew God, but like I said, I didn't really have that relationship with him. But looking back 5 years ago, there are a lot of decisions I would have made. In fact, 5 years ago, it felt like all the plans that I and my mom or I and my parents made, my parents and everybody in my family made for me, was just catching. I was made to come to Cyprus 5 years ago, but it didn't work out, and I could just see how much we struggled then. And you know, at that point where God is saying, this is the time for you to come to me, but I do not care. I'm just saying, whoa, this life. In fact, I did zero. You know, when I've been that kind of person from when I was small. I had this huge dream about different things. I wanted to be a journalist. When I was small, I wanted to be a doctor. Then as I was growing, it changed. I wanted to become a journalist. As I was growing again, it changed. Then I've always been that person that I have known that I was going to do this, I was going to do this, I was going to do this. I knew I was not just going to be that one person thing. I was going to have different jobs and everything. I knew I was going to be big. Yeah, not to brag, but I'm always saying it, like I know I was not created for small things. I've always been interested with a lot of things at once, learning different things and everything. So yeah, there were times that I feel God was pushing me to come to him, but I was just using God. For my WAEC, I'll just go to God. Oh yeah, God, oh, WAEC has come. Yes. God, my family, we no always do WAEC twice. Because my mommy rang that in my ear. She said, you this child, we don't used to do, if you fail once like this, you go and learn hairdresser. Last one. And she usually say, she like, see, there are a lot of big hairdressers. You will make it as an hairdresser, but you know that's not what you want for yourself. So we don't used to do twice because, so, and I now grew up in a family where my siblings were smart. So I cannot follow my parents, and so then I will go to God and I'm like, God, my wife, Father, I cannot do it twice. Holy Spirit, I want to pass. Like, I'm serious. And I knew it was not just sharp pass. I knew I had to pass. You know that is go. Let my people. I knew my parents would rub it off because my dad, when my dad see your result, it's just there's this bragging that comes with it. My dad will go to the
my daughter.
And the time my brother did it, I think it was like 30% of people that passed WAEC. So the joy of out of the 30% in West Africa, my son's finished. And you will say it with so much distance. And the time I was meant to do WAEC, so I think a lot of people failed and everything. And it was like a lot of people failed English and literature. And it was so happy that my daughter, she passed. It was even telling them that's how we do in our family. We don't. But yeah, I just always use God. Before 5 years ago, I was just learning to. I was not learning anything. That's just the truth. Don't even lie. But like 3 years, when you say shege in premium package, Pro Max, that's it. Now came and was like, hey, it's time for you to surrender. That thing I supposed to surrender how many years ago? So like 3 years ago, I was at that space here. I can remember I was listening to Mike Todd, and he was talking about ripping up your list.
Mike Todd, shout out to Mike Todd.
Shout out to Mike Todd. And it's so funny that many people say because of Corona things happen, these things happen. Yes, yeah, Corona messed up my family plans and everything. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but at that period was where I found God. And it was like, I felt to a point, I'm like, am I sure Corona did not just come so that I can just come and teach me some 1 or 2? Yeah. Like, to be very,
for a lot of people.
Yeah, like I knew God more then, and it was like, it was talking about ripping up your list. And because I've told you right from when I was small, I've always had, I'm going to be an event planner. I'll have this company here. I'll have this shopping complex here. I'll have this one here. In my head, I'm planning. In fact, there is this parlor. There is the stairs then, dining stairs parlor. Around that dining place, I always have show. That's the place I'm always talking to a lot of people, invisible people. When I'm big, I'm like, so yes, I know you there. I have a lot of interviews I've done by myself. I have a lot of presenting work that I've done. I've presented a lot of this thing, presidential stuff in my head. See, I imagine things a lot. But I had this whole list in my head. Oh, by this time I have things I'm meant to be doing. And it felt like, okay, like I said, 2018, things happened, but it didn't eat. And like, I'm still working, I'm still getting money, I'm still doing things for myself. I feel I'm still okay. I still have time. And when I got here, 2020, things happened again. And at that point, I just broke down. I'm not even going to lie. And it was like God was calling me to a place of surrendering all my plans, because my thought was teaching about ripping up your list. He said, write down the list of the things you want to do. Yeah, those lists, that list. And me, I was so happy. I was thinking, hey, it's time for me to do exercise. Let me write everything down. And as I wrote it down, he said, rip it off. Rip what? Where? It was like, rip it off. And at that point, I can remember that was like the first time listening to a sermon and crying. I've never felt it before. I'm like, really? Because I'm always laughing at people when they do it. I'm like, why are you crying?
Wow.
Serious? Wow.
I act like I'm not like that. Wow.
But until God showed me, hey, I big pass you. I was crying, and it was this song. I think it was around that period. Is it you sustain in the middle of it all? You remain the same through the rain. Still you reign, you sustain. And that was the song. Your promises always come true. I'm saying these lyrics because, yeah, it's by Transformation Church. Not depending on me, but relying on you. Your mercies are new every day, so I will trust you. And it was like surrender and put all your cares on me, and it was very deep for me. So yeah, till now, there are things that have happened, things that do not really make sense to me, but the fact that I've come to that point where I understand that God will sustain me through it all, and I just have to trust Him. I have to rip up all my plans and just say, God, lead the way. So yeah, it wasn't 5 years ago, it was 3 years ago, but 5 years ago started it.
Still,
Yeah.
it's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a
Journey
journey.
with Christ.
It's
So yes, you mentioned something that I like, and that's sustenance. So can you tell us, it's not me, not just me, I want to hear, but it's not just me, what's the word? What has sustenance, God's sustenance meant to you personally?
Ooh, that's a very
I'll
deep
also ask you the
question.
same question.
That's a very deep
Because we're talking
question.
about surrendering plans, and one thing is that when God should tell you, there's sometimes that God will tell you, drop this thing. You'll be like, but I need to do this too. I need to do this. Like, I need to work to get this money. But He's telling you, drop the work.
Yeah.
I would take care of God.
This thing you're saying, God. Woo. So, oh my God. So, me seeing God as my sustainer. So I was still telling Treasure the other day that since when I was 14, I've always been working. I've always been working to get money. So
Oh, I can't relate.
like I've always done something. Like every year I'm always doing something, and I'm always getting like, oh, I know I'm going to get money after doing this. I have my savings and everything. But entering, like, okay, since 2020, I've always been working, but coming to this year, God told me, do not work. Eh?
You don't
You
really
say what now?
You see?
Do you get, like, and it was like a strong this thing, don't work. I'm like, I was thinking it was me. I was like, which kind of laziness be this one? Even the Bible says we should be hard working. Which one is do not work? And it was saying, I'll be your Jireh. I want you to trust me on that. See, I've been, like you said, surrendering all my plans to God. But when it comes to finances, it has been a very hard thing for me to surrender. Because in my head, I have to do this thing to make this thing. Like, I feel it's a two-way thing. I work, I sell stuffs, you give me money. And that's how God's going to bless me. I've limited God being a Jireh. God's ability of being a Jireh by just me working and me getting from my own like work and everything. And God told me, do not work. I'm going to be your sister. I'm going to be your Jireh. And in my head, I was so happy. I'm going into the month of God being my Jireh. Provide for all my needs. It was really okay. So I'm going to be rich. What do you mean? This is the year of riches. God's going to be my Jireh. Okay, what should I do? I'll come to God's presence. I was sending waffles last year. What should I do? Don't do anything. Okay. God, what should I do? Then the next thing he said, I want you to help others. I'm not understanding. Am I helping others to get money? He's like, no, just help them. Give ideas. These ideas I sell, give ideas. Okay. So I started doing all these things, and I started trying to, doing this thing. And to be very honest, I'm not even saying this to brag. Every single time I need God, not every single time I want to God, every single time I need God to show up, He has always been there. Like, I've not lacked. Like, I might be broke. There are times this year I don't have one TL. Like, let's not even lie. I never have 25 kush. I ain't got money. Let me make it make sense. I don't have shishi, and I don't know where to get this money because and it was this year this no cash policy started. It was very hard for your parents to send money. This thing, like everything was just bad, and
What did I do? Is it
Where
me?
did I go wrong?
I was even telling, I was thinking I was lazy. I was telling you, somewhere I just sleep for bed. What's the meaning of all this? Because, like I said, I've always been that person that I have to. I've always thought I have to work, and to be very honest, until God told me, okay, now start doing this thing. That was like as a last month ending. Okay, now you can do this. One thing God wanted to teach me was how to cast my cares financially on Him. God always wants us to be completely dependent on Him. Like not on any other person, not on any other thing, on Him completely. Like we diligently seek Him without having a side. Okay, if God did not work
I
out,
have a plan B.
I have plan
It's
B.
giving side.
Like, do you get? Most times you're very, very adulterous to God,
That's why I said side.
and we do,
No.
and we do not know, and it's like, so if this money do not come, I'm going to do this to do this, and I know God does not want me to do this, but I'm still going to do this. That is me being adulterous to God, like putting God aside and saying, okay, since your plan did not work, it's time for me to do my own thing. And that was one thing God wanted to teach me financially, and I hope I answered your question because I just say plenty story. I know.
You did.
That's part of the storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about you? What has sustenance meant for you?
In the past 5 years.
No, it doesn't have to be
The
past
past
5 years.
5 years,
Just your relationship with God.
okay. Sustenance has meant me, like she said, casting all my cares, and especially this year. This year,
Laughter.
because when she was talking, I've been broke. Someone was telling me, you don't look like, you always have money. You just look like, I say, me. I say, wow, Jesus is really taking care of me. Because there are times I've not had, like, maybe I'll be like, I don't have money to do, I don't have. And, it's good to have, and I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing, we're so used to having, like, you should have
Change.
money. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
like,
you
even with
feel
this,
so empty.
even with
Like-
this, in Nigeria, when they were changing currency and it was cashless, like, a lot of Nigerians were suffering because we're used to always have one extra 5K.
Yes,
one
There's
place.
always something to fall back on.
Yeah, so it was very, and just even this past April, April was my birthday. Yeah. And I literally didn't have so much money. Like the plans I even wanted to have for my birthday, because I'm used to planning my birthday myself, getting the exact cake I want, everything just being a certain order. I'm saying this story for a reason. So, I wanted to do this, I shared some of my plans with her. Plans in the mud. To be honest. Plans in the mud. Like, I was like, even, saying, oh, this is the exact kind of cake maybe I want. This. A lot of things didn't really go the way I wanted it to go. But, hey, guess what? That day, I was surprised with a very, very beautiful cake. I eventually got another cake because I was like, I don't really have money to buy cake and cakes are expensive. Yeah. But I got money, I got another cake. So I had 2 cakes at the end of the day.
I ate one. Yeah.
I also ate one.
And so, and even after that, I didn't have a lot of money on me. And of course, sometimes you get your allowance, and with the current state of things, allowance will just by the time you blink like this, money have go.
Where's my pocket empty? What's going on?
And so
They just go and buy pepper in the market. You are broke.
God. You go out to buy stuff, and it's not like you're trying to be
Lavish.
extravagant. You are going to get your basic necessities, and then money have.
How?
No.
So I was just
sad.
like, okay, but then I've really realized that there's peace in having little. Sometimes like there's really peace in just when you don't have so much, like you're more content. That's what I think, though. Because people are looking at me like you don't really agree, but
No. As you're saying it feels like as you're saying it, like I'm understanding.
like there's peace in, like you just know, oh, this is what I have, and I'm grateful to God. Then you begin to start thanking God for the little miracles. Like I have a roof over my head. I'm eating maybe the same thing, or I just have 2 options, but I'm eating it. I'm still healthy. Some people, if they do that for 1 week, they may fall sick, but me, I'm okay. Like you just start thanking God for the little things. And sometimes it's good that you are in such situations because you appreciate the little things.
We need to learn.
It's when you maybe go to a hospital, you appreciate that you can breathe without having oxygen, being passed through to you. You are not sick. All those little things. So yeah, and I've had people say, oh, please just send me your account number. Just like that? You want to send me money? Like, and sometimes, like, one of the alerts, in fact, my head was like, I'm not seeing correctly. This is not the amount I'm seeing. I looked at my phone again. I said, oh God. But some is that I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to go and steal. I'm not going to, this is what I have, this is what I can make do with. And in case I need something, I know, okay, I can reach out to a friend if it has to come to that. And I know my friends will be able to, help me out. But God has just literally, when she was talking, there was this song that came to my mind. You always come through for me, amazing God do. So yeah, I've literally seen that this year, like it always comes through for me in terms of finances. I'm just touching on what she mentioned because I realized that maybe for a couple of us, finances is something that we struggle with, especially maybe if you're like, I get money from home, so I know every month is like they're paying my salary kind of thing, like you're getting money steady. Then maybe if the money is now not so steady again, that's when you now say, okay, I was depending on my parents. Because for me, I was like, okay, I was depending on my parents more and not seeing that, okay, God is the one that is for them to have to give to me. So it's like that understanding has to dawn, like it had to dawn on me that, okay, Isabel, it's God that is providing for them to be able to give to you. So don't think that they are the Alpha and Omega. They are not. They're just a means through which, and God can. And for me, I've seen, because I've gotten money not just from them, but from different people. So I've seen that God can use anybody. He can use any source. It doesn't have to be the exact one that maybe I'm used to, or the one I always have to think, the money has to come through, or something like that. So yeah, that's a bit in the financial.
Sorry, before you guys end, this part she touched, I really, really wanted to elaborate on it. Like for my part, like my own testimony. Like I said, God was like, it was going to be my Jared this month. It's so funny. Yeah, my parents would give, but you know how this island is. Yeah, you pay rent. You have never finished paying the bills, money has finished, and you understand how hard things are back home in Nigeria, but your parents will still try to make sure you are comfortable. Like, there sometimes I will not want to ask them again because I'm like, really, to be very honest, thank you so much, parents. To be very honest, because we understand how hard things can be, and you just don't want to even tell them anything again. You just tell them, no worry, I mean, the money is okay, but deep down you are entering debt. Like
maybe you are going to buy ekmek dinner.
Like, to be very honest, you don't have any money, and I can remember I was just God, this God is sweet though. Like, I can remember there was just one time my sister just called and she was like, okay, no, I was just gisting about how I've not really had anything, and I was just laughing, and I'm like, but thank God, it's my birthday time, money came through, and the next thing she was like, okay, so what do you need? The next thing she bought like a whole full bag of food stuff. I'm serious, like that has never happened to me before. I was shocked. I could not carry the bag. Wow. It was that heavy. And the next month, someone just all the way from UK just texted me. The last time I spoke to this person was like 2020. No, I saw this person. Like, I've not really like spoken to the person like that. The person just texted me, okay, send me your account number. How are you doing? Just send me money. God, she didn't want me. I'm so sorry, but it was very, very surprising for me because, like you said, we always expect our parents. Like for me, my parents, or my handwork. I don't know how to ask from other people. Even if you're my friend and this thing, there's thing I'll tell you to do, okay, please, can you just borrow me this money? When I get money back, I'll give it back to you. Like, I don't know how to ask that I'm in need. Like, and it's, for me, it's never a thing of pride. It's just that I don't know how to construct the sentence because I was brought up that way. We don't have anyone to rely on except from our parents and God. And that's when my parents brought all of us up and everything. And yeah, just to buttress our point, God is beautiful, I swear. Just like surrender to him. Like, just say, God, take it, just have it, because you don't want to think about it.
We are giving you hope here. I have story. I've not shared any story yet. I have story.
Yes.
Like, do you know the crazy thing? Yeah, yesterday I needed money for something, and I woke up with anger. Like, it's not if because I like my personal space. I can just wake up. I have that issue that I can just wake up and next someone is beside me and I'm like, please just leave this room. Just let it be only me. Like, please. Like, I like being. I have this mood switch and I'm just like, and I wake up, I'm like, your presence is annoying. Please, when are you leaving here? But I'll not say it. When we are talking, I'm smiling with you. Everybody, it's a bad thing. And what I do now, is that just like I said about surrendering, is that when I realize that it's like this thing is getting worse, and I said, okay, let me go to one coffee shop. And I'm like, if you continue like this, you are like opening the door, depression, walking, like slowly. I now had to. Yesterday, I now had to carry my Bible. That's how I carried my Bible, and I started reading. And the story was funny, and I started laughing on my bed. Like, I started laughing because before I started, I'm like, God, help me. I know it's my bad character, but help me. Like, I'm surrendering this to you. So yes, I was already happy. I was just reading the Bible and I was laughing. Next, that's how, one way or the other, I needed money for something. And the money in my account found that thing. Like, what's your problem? Why is it when there's money? Like, what's your problem?
Then other needs just start arising from
you get.
Then
Next
you
thing,
remember
when that
to
money
cut your
came,
lights.
what I just told God is that before I would have been panicking. I'm like, I don't want to disturb my parents because I know that I used to drain those people. But I'm like, okay, God, I was just worried. Before I would have been very worried, but yesterday I just smiled. On a normal day to change my mood. But now, because it has showed that now I am depending on God, I've surrendered to God's leading and God's provision. I just said, God, let me get this money with ease. Like, I will call my parents for this money. And they will not worry about this money and the money will come. And I just went outside. I just texted my daddy. Little I turned back, I just saw credit alert. I said, yes, get it.
That's it.
Like, so to be honest, surrender to God. You may just get that credit alert today. Consider it.
Actually,
consider. So can I quickly say something? Because when we were talking, I realized that actually why is it that when we don't have money, we're automatically sad and depressed? Like, really, that's why.
To be very honest,
it's a bad thing.
And that shows, like, really, we're not surrendering because we're trying to mechanically think, how can we raise this money? But, like, what you said, just be joyful. Why are you taking life too serious? Like, it's really not. God will provide. She is the one that's.
Just remember, he has done. That's the thing. Remember, he did it before.
Sure.
He did it
so. The fact that we're depressed or you are frowning and you're angry is not going to bring the money.
At all.
If it was bringing the money, we would all be busy.
You look older.
We'll all be rich, bro. I would have had a mansion by now.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, we've come to the end of this. You know, I actually sent you guys 2 questions, but you've answered it.
Really?
Like, you've answered it in between, but it's okay. We've spoken about different things, and yes, it has been really beautiful to talk to you guys. So this is me also again shamelessly promoting my brand.
It's the shamelessly for me.
I gave you guys cards from my brand.
You gave us?
Yes.
Where
No,
is
you
it?
see it. You don't know. It's between us. If you want to see it, just check Abbas Love.
She has not given me anything. I'm come here to cast her. She has not given me anything
Leave
yet.
my fake life. Thank you. So yes, you're going to come to. So let's just say a short word. English. You cannot fail me. Short word of prayer.
Yes.
Thank you. Father, we say thank you for the privilege of gathering here. Thank you for the privilege of being your vessels. We pray that for everyone listening, for everyone that is here, Father, the grace to continuously surrender. We are asking for by our strength we will fail. So we are saying, Holy Spirit, give us that grace to continually. This is the life you've called us to, a life of continual submission and surrender. For you did it first. You surrendered your life just for us to be here today. So help us to live. You lived and died just so you. Sorry. Is entering me.
I
So
get
yes,
you.
You get. Help us to live a life of surrender.
Amen.
You went through a lot for us. So why won't we live for you and you alone? Help us to always be surrendered to you. May your name alone be glorified. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.